Drew's tragic end, Will Willow's poisoning storyline, Mark Cameron Mathison's exit from General Hospital. General Hospital fans are bracing for what could be one of the most shocking developments in recent memory. Rumors are swirling that Drew Kane, the beloved character portrayed by Cameron Mathison, may meet a tragic end after being poisoned by Willow. This potential storyline raises profound questions about betrayal, moral boundaries, consequences, and the future of one of Port Charles's most complex and multifaceted characters. As whispers of Cameron Mathison's departure from the show gain momentum, the soap opera community finds itself confronting the possibility of losing a character who has become integral to the fabric of General Hospital's narrative landscape. The poisoning plot, a dark turn for Willow. The idea of Willow poisoning Drew represents a dramatic and potentially irreversible shift in her character trajectory. Willow has long been portrayed as one of General Hospital's more morally grounded characters, known for her compassion, dedication to her family, and unwavering commitment to doing what she believes is right. For her to turn to such a dark and calculated action suggests either extreme desperation, a complete psychological transformation driven by circumstances we can only speculate about, or perhaps manipulation by darker forces within Port Charles. Poisoning storylines in soap operas typically unfold slowly and methodically, building tension as the victim's health deteriorates in mysterious ways while doctors scramble for answers. The poisoner, meanwhile, struggles with overwhelming guilt or alternatively doubles down on their actions, convinced of their righteousness or necessity. If this plot materializes as suggested, viewers would likely witness Drew experiencing increasingly severe and mysterious symptoms that baffle Port Charles's medical establishment. His condition would worsen incrementally, creating mounting anxiety among his loved ones and the audience. The revelation of Willow's involvement would likely come as a carefully orchestrated shock timed for maximum emotional impact. Perhaps Drew himself discovers the truth in his final moments, or maybe a guilty Willow confesses to someone she trusts. The method of revelation could take many forms: physical evidence discovered during a police investigation, a moment of conscience where Willow breaks down and admits her crime, or perhaps another character witnessing something incriminating that they cannot ignore. Drew's complex journey through Port Charles. Drew Kane has been through tremendous trials and tribulations since arriving in Port Charles, establishing himself as a character of remarkable depth and resilience. From his years of memory manipulation and identity confusion to his wrongful imprisonment and subsequent fight for justice, Drew has consistently demonstrated extraordinary strength of character and moral fortitude even when facing impossible circumstances. Cameron Mathison brought unexpected depth and natural charm to the role, transforming Drew from a potentially one-dimensional character into a fan favorite who balanced intensity with warmth, vulnerability with strength. His relationships have defined much of his storyline and emotional journey. His complicated connection with Sam created compelling drama that kept viewers invested, filled with chemistry, conflict, and genuine affection. Their shared history and the tragic circumstances that initially brought them together provided rich material for exploration. His role as a father to Scout showcased his gentler, more nurturing side, revealing a man capable of profound love and dedication despite the chaos surrounding his life. The scenes between Drew and his daughter often provided the emotional heart of his storylines, grounding his character in something pure and uncomplicated. His friendship with Curtis added another dimension to his character, showing Drew's capacity for loyalty and genuine male friendship in a genre often focused on romantic entanglements. Their business partnership and mutual respect created a foundation of stability in Drew's life, even as other relationships crumbled or evolved. His various business dealings and corporate maneuvering added layers of complexity to his character, positioning him as more than just a romantic leader action hero, but as a fully realized person with ambitions, flaws, and competing priorities. Drew represented the ongoing struggle between his manufactured past and his authentic self, a theme that resonated deeply with audiences navigating their own questions about identity and authenticity in an increasingly complex world. His journey to reclaim his true memories while honoring the person he had become during his years of manipulation created fascinating psychological territory rarely explored so thoroughly in daytime television. The actor behind the character, Cameron Mathison, joined General Hospital in 2021, bringing his considerable acting experience from Years On, All My Children, and various other projects, along with his devoted fan base, to the challenging role of Drew Kane. Taking over a character previously portrayed by another actor presented unique challenges, requiring Mathison to honor what came before while making the role distinctly his own. He succeeded admirably, bringing fresh energy and interpretation that won over skeptical fans and created new devotees. If reports of his departure prove accurate, it would mark the end of a significant era for the character in the show. Soap opera actors leave shows for various and often complicated reasons, new career opportunities beckoning them toward different creative challenges, fundamental creative differences with writers or producers about character direction, the desire for change after years of demanding production schedules that require their presence 5 days a week for much of the year, or simply the natural progression of a performer's career journey. Mathison's portrayal brought gravitas and authenticity to Drew's most challenging storylines. His chemistry with co-stars created memorable moments that fans continue to discuss and celebrate on social media. His ability to convey both remarkable strength and profound vulnerability made Drew compelling in ways that transcended typical soap opera archetypes. Whether delivering intense confrontation scenes, tender moments with his daughter, or navigating complex moral dilemmas, Mathison brought commitment and skill that elevated the material. His departure would leave a significant void in Port Charles, affecting multiple ongoing storylines and fundamentally altering character dynamics that had been carefully built over his years on the show. The ripple effects would extend far beyond his immediate family and romantic connections, touching business associates, friends, and even antagonists who have defined themselves partly in opposition to Drew's moral center. The fundamental shift in Willow's character, should Willow actually poison Drew, this would fundamentally and perhaps irrevocably alter her character in ways that would challenge everything viewers thought they knew about her. Soap operas occasionally take beloved characters down unexpectedly dark paths, testing audience loyalty and creating opportunities for either redemption arcs that span years or tragic endings that serve as cautionary tales. The question becomes both practical and philosophical. What could possibly drive Willow to such an extreme and uncharacteristic action? Possible motivations might include protecting her children from some threat she believes only Drew's death can eliminate, revenge for a perceived or actual betrayal that struck at the core of everything she holds dear, or a psychological breakdown under extreme stress that has been building unseen beneath her composed exterior. Perhaps Drew discovered a devastating secret about Willow's past or present actions that she believes she had to silence at any cost. Maybe she's being manipulated or blackmailed by another character with her own agenda, forced into actions that horrify her but seem unavoidable given impossible choices. The specific catalyst would determine whether viewers could eventually find paths to forgiveness or whether Willow would be permanently transformed into a villain in the audience's eyes. Soap operas have successfully redeemed characters who committed terrible acts, but the process requires careful writing, committed performances, and audiences willing to take the journey. The writers would need to establish clear motivations that, while not excusing the action, help viewers understand the psychological state that led to such a desperate choice. Alternatively, the poisoning could involve layers of deception, where Willow believes she's administering something harmless or is herself being poisoned by false information designed to make her an unwitting accomplice. These variations would create different moral frameworks and allow for various resolutions that might preserve Willow's essential character while still delivering the shock and drama of Drew's potential death. Soap opera death traditions and expectations. General Hospital has maintained a long and storied history of character deaths that serve as pivotal plot points, defining eras and fundamentally reshaping the show's landscape. Some deaths proved temporary, with characters returning years later through classic soap opera plot devices. The body was never found. They were in witness protection, they suffered amnesia, or they were presumed dead but actually imprisoned in exotic locations. Others are permanent, sending shockwaves through the community and creating lasting consequences that define subsequent storylines for years. If Drew dies from poisoning, the storyline would likely involve several carefully orchestrated key elements designed to maximize emotional impact and audience. Engagement. First, the gradual revelation as his symptoms worsen and Port Charles's finest doctors search desperately for answers, running test after test while Drew's condition deteriorates. This phase builds suspense and allows multiple characters to demonstrate their concern and love for Drew, reminding viewers of all the connections that would be severed by his death. Second, the moment of truth when Willow's involvement is exposed would need to be crafted for maximum dramatic impact. This revelation could come through various means: a slip of the tongue during an emotional conversation, physical evidence discovered by police or another character, a confession wrung from Willow during a moment of overwhelming guilt, or perhaps Drew himself piecing together the truth before his death and confronting his killer. Third, the immediate aftermath as characters process their grief, anger, confusion, and betrayal would provide weeks of material. Different characters would react in different ways based on their relationships with both Drew and Willow, creating natural conflicts in alliances. Some might demand immediate justice, while others urge understanding or mercy. These divisions would test existing relationships and create new dynamics. Finally, potential legal consequences, as Willow faces justice for her actions, would allow the show to explore criminal justice themes while providing ongoing drama. A trial would bring multiple characters together, force them to testify and confront difficult truths. and ultimately determine Willow's fate. The legal proceedings could span months, maintaining tension and keeping Drew's memory alive even after the actor's departure. The devastating ripple effects. Drew's death would impact numerous Port Charles residents in profound and lasting ways, fundamentally altering relationships and storylines for years to come. Scout would lose her father at a formative age, creating heartbreaking scenes that would explore childhood grief and the long-term psychological effects of sudden parental loss. Her relationship with Sam would become even more crucial as her mother helps her navigate impossible emotions. The show could explore how Scout's development is shaped by this trauma, affecting her teenage years and beyond. Sam would grapple with extraordinarily complex emotions about her ex-partner's death, including unresolved feelings about their relationship, guilt over words left unsaid or actions not taken, and fury toward Willow for taking Drew from Scout. Her position as both Scout's mother and someone who once loved Drew deeply would create internal conflicts perfect for dramatic exploration. Additionally, any lingering feelings she harbored would be permanently unresolvable, creating a particular kind of grief. Curtis would lose a trusted friend and business partner, someone who had become integral to both his personal and professional life. Their friendship represented something valuable in Port Charles, genuine male bonding based on respect and shared values rather than rivalry or competition. Drew's death would force Curtis to question his judgment, grieve publicly and privately, and potentially assume responsibilities Drew left behind. The Quartermain family would mourn another loss in a lineage marked by tragedy. Drew's connection to this powerful family, regardless of the complexities, made him part of their legacy. His death would reopen old wounds about other family members lost over the decades while creating new grief. Family gatherings would be marked by his absence, business decisions would be made without his input, and the family would collectively grapple with justice versus mercy regarding Willow. Michael's position would be particularly complicated and dramatically rich if his wife killed his uncle. The family dynamics would fracture along multiple fault lines, with some demanding justice and punishment while others seek to protect Willow at all costs. Michael would be torn between his marriage vows, his love for his children who need their mother, his loyalty to family members demanding accountability, and his own moral code.